Hello and welcome to the All Things Geek podcast. I'm your host, Leighton, and I am joined by...
Tyler.
And...
Aiden.
So, we've got a little episode today. I say a little. Yous are mainly going to talk about Halo at some point, since yous actually watched the second episode. I didn't. In all honesty, I did try and look for it. I couldn't find a link that wouldn't have gave my computer a virus or anything, so I didn't want to risk it. And in all honesty, I didn't really want to risk my PC for a TV show I don't really care that much about anyway. So we've got a very small news segment today. So firstly, Warner Brothers has released or rumoured to have held plans with, or future plans with, Ezra Miller moving forward, following his arrest. Smart. Personally, just get rid of him. I'm sure we all can agree on that.
Yes.
But they've spent, what, the budget of the movie is like $200 million, so it would be a big loss, I guess. So it's a difficult one. And obviously they're doing a lot of reshoots and whatnot, but yeah, this film might get boycotted in all honesty, and I'm all for that, because it sounds like a mess and stuff. So yeah, and we got some new Hasbro Star Wars Black Series reveals today, which are quite exciting in all honesty for me. I don't know about you two.
Much better than when we got the Black Chrysanthemum reveals.
Yeah. So I've put images in our chat and we'll go through them if you want. So the first one we've got here is Sergeant, is it Creel?
Creel, yeah.
Yeah. So he uses the new style Stormtrooper body, which, thank God, I'm incredibly happy about that. It's a new Stormtrooper variant on that body, which we love. And yeah, the new sculpts and stuff look really good.
Yeah, really cool character from the comics. So I wanted to make a custom of him, so now I don't have to.
Exactly. It was such a pleasant surprise because me and Aiden were on call earlier watching the stream, and it came up, and I was like, "Whoa, what is that?" Apparently, he's got a new torso and chest armor, but and then on top of the other bits here and there. But yeah, looks great. The artwork looks amazing as always for these figures. Again, I was saying to Aiden that I love this subline. It's something a little different that they can do, where they're making just different variants, repaints and whatnot in these very nice packages and so on and so forth. But yeah, he is definitely one that I'm after. I don't know when he's due to be released, but the pre-orders go up tomorrow, so I'm going to keep my eyes open for that. And then moving on, we have Infinity's Darth Vader, is it? Which is a white version of Vader, which is very odd. I mean, you know what Darth Vader looks like, and then there's this white version of him. I kind of like it, cool, oddly.
Yeah, I don't like how inconsistent all the whites are.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I like the idea of a Jedi Vader.
Yeah, I think what it is that Hasbro's always kind of had a problem with whites, in terms of plastics. I can tell you from experience, especially with Transformers, that you will always get different colours of white on the same figure and stuff. So either they get it well or do it really well, say for example the Stormtroopers or whatever, or they get it very mixed. So yeah, it looks like a very unique
it's cool
figure. It's definitely one I'd get if it was on clearance. I wouldn't pay full price for it.
I might get it and then customize it.
Yeah, I definitely wish it came with a different. I don't know if it's true to the comics or what with the saber, but just it having the standard Vader saber, whilst the rest of it is a completely different recoil. just kind of throws me a little bit. The box art, looks great. And then we have this new layer, which, in all honesty, I really, really want. I love the look of this figure. I already own Leia from Episode 5, but I'm more than happy and willing to replace it with this one. I just love the outfit that they've went for. The face sculpt looks really, really good. Yeah,
it's a pretty cool look. I like it.
It's definitely different, and just that, just the brown, like the light brown, just really breaks up that, like, I guess you could say, boring outfit that she would normally wear. But yeah, that looks like a fun one. Aidan, what do you think of these?
Yeah, nothing from the stream, unfortunately, really blew me away. The only figure I kind of liked was Sergeant Creole, right? He was the only one that really stuck out to me. I was like, oh, I've seen that guy from the comics. And yeah, I think this, I guess that whole wave or like that subline of Black Series with this focusing like comic figures or expanded media where they do like some characters from like the books, Legends books or something else.
Yeah.
So, and I think Sev looked really cool. I was confused by
we'll definitely get on the Sev, don't worry.
Yeah, I'm not like entirely. I played Republic Commandos like the first couple seasons, and it was like, yeah, this is a bit hard. But no, I thought it was fine. It wasn't like a whole stream of us.
It was definitely a better live stream they've done recently, anyway.
Of the year so far, and
compared to other ones, I know we're kind of going off a bit, but like we've said multiple times on calls and stuff that like the Hasbro team, like for the Black Series stuff, is really awkward and stuff, and like they're just not that like fun to watch. So I didn't think they were that bad, in all honesty, for this stream. It wasn't awkward at times and stuff, and like they've clearly got a new little set going on to show off the figures, which is nice. Changes it up from what they would normally do.
Like in an actual studio.
Yeah, so we got our first look at the deluxe Saw Gerrera figure. I mean, this isn't a character I care much about at all, but I gotta say, the figure looks quite good. And I was quite surprised to hear that the breathing apparatus that he has can move and go on his face and stuff. That's quite a nice little addition. Yeah, it looks like a good figure just for a character that I don't care about. So, yeah. Yeah.
Not much to say about him, but it's cool because they basically just revisit the entire Rogue One line of the movie. Yeah. And the people that really enjoy that film and go back, as a lot of those figures, I think, from the early Black Series waves, is very infamous for their face printing and
just being on the shelves and stuff. And
so,
whatnot,
if I still had the K2SO figure, I would probably be tempted to buy it because it's a cool droid figure.
I don't think they've really updated that much. I think it's just with the eyes and stuff for that figure, which is fair enough. But everything else gets like the updated tech for the faces and whatnot. So yeah, the next figure, if you can find it, which was a massive surprise for me because I do love Republic Commandos and I love Delta Squad. Personally, much prefer them over Bad Batch. So I really think Bad Batch is kind of inspired by Delta Squad. We get Sev, a favourite of mine. I love all four of the characters, but Sev and Scorch are definitely two of my favourites. It's nice to see, but I've got to say I'm disappointed with the Commando look that they've went for because it just doesn't fit what the Commandos should look like.
Took the base off of Hunter from the Bad Batch figure.
If you actually see what the Commandos look like, they are much stockier and bigger and bulkier, and they've went for a more leaner, thinner body, and it just, doesn't do it for me. So, in one hand, I'm happy that we're getting Delta Squad. Scorch is the last one we need now. But, I'm not happy with the execution. It just kind of feels a bit lazy for me personally. I know there's upgrade kits and stuff like that fans have made to upgrade these figures to have them exactly how they should look. But I mean, you shouldn't really have to do that when the Black Series line is meant to supposedly give you the best quality.
I think it looks fine, but I don't have any attachment to these characters, so I think
yeah,
it just, it looks like they do in Clone Wars. So,
I mean, even then they don't look. I mean, they look more accurate in Clone Wars than they do in the plastic form. I don't like the Hunter body. I just think it's far too thin for them. Like, it just doesn't look how a clone commando should look. And I mean, like, fair enough, I kind of get it. Like, you would have to make like a completely new body and stuff and whatnot, and all the sort of like unique armor. Like, for example, Boss, he has like a unique shoulder pads. You'd have to obviously sculpt that if you wanted it 100% accurate. And then like everything else that comes with each Delta member. But yeah, just the Hunter body, not a massive fan of with these releases. I'm not opposed to getting them because at the end of the day, it is Delta Squad. It would just mean that I'd have to do a few upgrades on my end, which is annoying and tedious, but it is what it is. So, yeah, enough of rambling about Scorch.
Can I say that if they did, like you mentioning about them not being bulky enough, if they went ahead and make a whole new mold for them, I could easily, especially now, see them being just deluxe figures. Is released, so it'd be nice, I think, but I don't have a lot.
I think this entire line is going to be classified as deluxe soon enough.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I see like they would easily do that.
I definitely think like with the size that they should be, I completely agree that they would be deluxe price, I guess. Even then, it's like still a gaming grade figure, and that's like a bit more pricey anyway. So
yeah, the last one we got was just for deluxe pack, not in terms of figure, but it was the Cal Kestis from
yeah. I mean, they definitely, like, if they did the bodies correctly and made it 100% accurate, they could easily throw in like a lot of accessories that the Delta Squad use throughout the game, different weapons, just to maybe fill it out and, make it worth that extra money. But yeah, I'm not alone on this. Like, fans of the game and characters and whatnot, they are, complaining about it. So it's not like I'm just talking out my ass about it. It's unfortunate, but yeah, it is what it is. At least we're getting them. It would just be nice, since, like I say, the line is meant to be supposedly accurate and the best representation of these characters and all this shit. So, whatever. Moving on, we have a helmet, and it is Trapper Wolf's. It's a X-Wing helmet. I've heard really great reviews on the helmets, like these ones, the proper replicas for the X-Wing ones, because you get like lights and sounds and stuff, and it kind of makes you feel like you're in a flight simulation. So like when you have it on, you'll hear like blaster fire behind your ears and stuff. It's really immersive. But yeah, I'm quite interested that they've went for Trapper Wolf. Yeah, it's an alright looking helmet. It's not one of my favourites, but it's nice to see more of Dave on Star Wars products, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing crazy, but...
like I say, it's a nice repaint, but definitely not for me.
Nothing to be desired, personally, so...
Yeah, I completely agree. Now, if they pulled out like a repaint of the artillery trooper, then I'd be like, oh yeah, I need that.
That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm. Or like even the incinerator one, that would be great. But I think they've kind of already done that with one of the helmets anyway.
I believe they've done an incinerator trooper helmet. Yes.
Yeah. So moving on. Aidan, you've got some news, and I think it's about Doctor Strange, if I'm correct.
Yes, as the time of recording this and probably when this episode's coming out, the tickets for the Doctor Strange sequel, Multiverse of Madness, are out. They came out this morning.
Which I have just ordered mine, so...
Yeah. I probably will get one soon. But along with that, we got a new TV spot that showed some new footage and also around 5 new posters pertaining to the film, and each and every one of them look incredible. It seems like we have the main poster. There's a lot going on in each one of them, showing multiple like Doctor Strange, and it's just very well done. There's one for the official one, IMAX, 3D, ScreenX. It's all there. If I had to choose my favorite, it's probably the IMAX one. Seeing all like the kind of like shards of glass, and then seeing fragments of someone's eye or like part of their face around in Doctor Strange center. That one's just so catching the eye. But the main poster is also great. I love how Gargantos looks so ticked off at the corner of Doctor Strange's cape. I'm glad he's on the poster, but he'll probably have a very minor role in the film. But nonetheless, it's cool. I'm very excited for the movie. We're like a month away. Waited like 6 years for the sequel to come out.
Finally.
The hype is through the roof.
To one of probably the MCU's more underrated films as well. So
Definitely. I remember seeing it for the first time in IMAX, the first one, and I was just underrated movie. It really is. So I'm glad it's finally getting a sequel where it's more in the vein of a horror movie being directed.
Yeah, and of course, good old Sam Raimi's back.
Cannot express how happy I am that he's doing this movie, and I hope it can pave the way for doing many more. And I think there's going to be a lot of surprises in this movie, and I hope that through a lot of big surprises and cameos we will see. I hope it's a good Doctor Strange story.
Yeah, I really like these posters, and I like, I don't know, just I can't really say much more than that in all honesty. They're quite different to what we'd get for MCU posters, kind of, where everything's just...
These are actual full-blown posters, which I'm so happy with. You know... And there are multiple different ones, which is just not like, oh, here we have a few, and they're very like everyone involved in each one, and it's
kind of mad. Like, I mean, just looking at these posters, for example, and then looking at the posters we got for like No Way Home, it's kind of jarring.
Oh yeah,
but I think that's just Sony, to be fair.
Yeah, it's different with them doing with Sony. I feel. I mean. I think Homecoming was great how they did that. They definitely dropped the ball with Far From Home. I think that's the worst of the three that suffered from that.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But the main poster is just plainly bad, and I love that movie. I wish we had a better poster for it. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like this one's like, wow, these are some of the best MCU posters I've seen in a bit. I love the Shang-Chi.
Very eye-catching, which is nice. Very cool.
Yeah, very eye-catching. They're very unique. So, but yeah. No, that was all we got for Doctor Strange currently, and I don't know if we're getting a final trailer. If we don't, I'm kind of happy with that.
I don't think we're gonna get one.
I don't think we need one. I don't think we need one. We have a couple weeks.
They just put out a trailer today, which was quite good.
Yeah, it's like a small deep spot in half trailer, you know. But yeah, the footage looks incredible. How it's shot, and it just looks like, as the title says, it's madness. So
yeah, it looks great. I can't wait for this film. This is definitely one of the top films that I was looking forward to in terms of Phase 4 anyway. This and Love and Thunder especially. So I can't wait for this. I'm just a massive fan of the original film, and I'm just really more excited to like just see more of Strange and all the like crazy things that he can do, especially visually, because the first movie, what it does like with all the trippy stuff and like, you know, going into other dimensions and all this stuff, like it visually looks amazing on a big screen.
Yeah, it's so it holds up to this day as well. Like, I feel like
definitely
something else I'm able to appreciate, but I like how it feels like a good transition from the first movie to a sequel where you go bigger and bolder and crazier with these parts of the realities that the first movie briefly touches upon, you know?
Yeah.
So it's cool. I think this is going to be great. I'm very excited. It's in good hands with Sam Raimi.
Mhm.
It's a shame that Scott Derrickson wasn't able to do it because I think he definitely did a good job, but this was the best other hands.
Did he just drop out entirely or something, or what?
Over creative differences?
Creative differences.
Ah, right, okay. Yeah, that was the same with Edgar Wright, wasn't it, for, like, Ant-Man? They had creative differences on that, and then, like, he just...
Well, he didn't want it to be. He didn't want to put in like any ties to the MCU whatsoever.
Oh, right,
He didn't want it
okay.
to be connected.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, I think just attaching like Sam's name to this like just adds a little something as well. Like, I don't think we've had a director's name put into an MCU trailer before. I think this is like genuinely the first time that I can recall anywhere.
Pretty sure the Russo bros had their names in all the trailers.
I don't know, you know.
I had to guess. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, either that James Gunn, but
James Gunn. That's fair. Yeah, that
James Gunn's the only one I think. Russo Bros, possibly, but I
don't think the Russo brothers do. You know,
I don't. Think
James Gunn, I think
they did for the Suicide Squad, but that's not Marvel. So I don't think they did for Guardians. I don't think they did for Guardians 2, honestly. So I think this might be some of the first stuff. And hey, put the name on there, man.
Exactly. Like, show who it's being directed by. I mean, it boldly shows you, like, Sam Raimi, there you go. And it's like,
and then
that's what you want. Give the director more credit. Yeah. I can't wait for this movie. I'm sure we're all the same. Is there anything else we want to talk about with this news segment before moving on to Halo and Moon Knight?
No, there's not much other news as far as I can think of. So,
Tyler, have you got anything?
No, I haven't heard anything else.
Oh, well, so moving on. Like I said, my situation with the second episode of Halo, I'm just going to listen to these two gentlemen talk it out about episode 2, what they liked, what they didn't like, and so on and so forth, and possibly explain things. Just a word of warning, there is going to be spoilers throughout this review, I'm sure, as well, for Moon Knight episode 2, so if you're not bothered about spoilers, great. If you are, go off and watch those and then come back. So, yeah, if you just want to take it away, like I say, I haven't got a clue what's in episode 2, I don't know what's happened. Yeah.
Okay. So in episode 2, we pick up with Master Chief and Quan going to visit an old friend of the Master Chief, and they spend some time there and learn some vague prophecy-esque information from a crazy person, and we learn about a Spartan who defected from the UNSC because his arm got Kentucky Fried. I mean, it's a lot of the UNSC like panicking because they don't know what to do with the Master Chief or where he's going or whatever.
Yeah.
Some political shenanigans.
Was it definitely more political in this episode than it was like the first?
Definitely. Well, there's like a whole conference scene.
I was going to say, because that was a lot of the critiques of the second episode that I heard.
Yeah, there's like a whole conference scene with like the council of the UNSC or whatever the hell.
Mm-hmm.
And then alien Covenant, sexy Covenant woman has like a strip scene in cliche sci-fi show fashion. Yeah, I mean, it's an okay episode. Chief returns, leaves Quan behind to follow her own C plot, and then he's gonna get Cortana in the next episode. So.
Interesting.
Nice summary there, Mr. Tyler.
Thanks. What'd you think of the episode?
I thought it was all right. I'll tell you the one thing I didn't like: Chief having his helmet on the whole time.
You just mentioned that, and I just can't get my head around I just hate it
like
so much.
He wears it for like 20 seconds at a time, twice in the episode.
Yeah, it's weird, and it's. I told Tyler that from now on I refer to this chief as John and not Master Chief,
Yeah.
because he's literally just a dude.
Yeah, he's really not Master Chief. He's John.
He just has his armor, and it's weird because it seems like the show is going to be posing Chief as. And it seems like this from the beginning with him fighting this artifact, is that he's some kind of chosen one, and I mean, the Halo story kind of does that in the games, but to me, it always felt like he was a symbol of hope in the fight. The
Yeah,
war.
I always got that. I never.
No, he is literally the chosen one in the games as well, though. Like, they outright say that.
Yeah, in what game though?
Halo 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm not. I know
Exactly.
Halo 4, I'm thinking like the main original trilogy.
Main trilogy, you know, the
And,
good
and
ones.
like Halo 4, we'll get into that sometime. I mean, I haven't played the game, but I know a bit of what
Look,
happens. But
Say
it's,
what you will about Halo 5, but Halo 4 and Halo Infinite
I will
are
say,
carrying on the same story.
the emotional core with Chief.
Don't get me wrong,
is-
Halo 4 was my
It's
my
not
introduction
bad.
to the series.
It's all right, but there's some parts of it where I'm kind of
All I'm saying is you just can't write that off as not canon. It is still canon.
well,
He is the chosen one.
in my canon.
But that's a bit. I hate shit like that. In all honesty,
Well,
I just like.
That's what
I know,
shows
just
to do.
completely going off, but like, just how the first three games, like Aiden's completely right with the first three games. He is that symbol of hope for humanity, and then obviously studio changes and everything like that, and the direction changed, and then he's the chosen one. It kind of, I don't know. For me, it loses a little bit. I don't know. For me to like him, if that makes sense. I still love the guy.
I disagree because it's a very inconsequential plot point. Like, they essentially haven't touched on it since Halo 4. But he is the chosen one.
Ugh.
it is weird. Yeah, they just say, "Oh yeah, here's Chief. He's apparently the chosen one." Which
You're the chosen one. You've got cool abilities when you interact with Forerunner tech, and then that's it.
right, and that's it. Nothing in 5, and then you have.
I mean, 5's a mess anyway.
Yeah, 5 is a mess, but Infinite's been like that clean slate as far as they can go with the game, that franchise
Yeah,
so
true.
far. So, but yeah, I'm intrigued by that with him being this chosen one, and I'm just seeing where it goes. I'm just trying to accept the fact now that we're not watching true Master Chief, and maybe over
it's just
time,
an imitation
I-
of the
I would-
character.
I would like to see just him finally wearing the helmet all the time. Like, maybe there could be a point where he just never takes it off again. But it's still weird that he has it off, because it's like it takes an element away from the character for me personally.
Yeah,
So-
I would like to have at least one episode where we do not see his face.
Yeah, that would be great.
I
But if
completely agree. I don't think.
more,
I mean,
you know?
I'm in the ballpark where we shouldn't use this at all, but that's just me.
yeah, no, I agree. But
Still make it work with body language and tone and stuff. Like, if your actor's good, then you're gonna get that. If you need scenes where the helmet has to come off, where they have to do certain things, then I mean, fair enough. But that just doesn't seem that true to the character, I guess.
I will say, I think it was a little funny that they were hanging around the guy who plays Shocker in the MCU Spider-Man has his own
That's right.
his gummy arm, and also has a space penthouse, and like it's and then Chief and Juan are basically hanging out there the whole time, essentially, which I thought took the episode back a little bit, aside from having like the B plot going on or C plot. So I thought that was fun. I did actually like seeing Chief's relationship with Soren. That was really interesting to see, and then learning more about Chief's past in that way. And I find it interesting that he went back to him of all things. Like, he had nowhere else to go, so he thought of Soren to go to. I thought that was interesting, and I feel like that's like outside, like it's, and then talking about how Chief is different from Soren, from following the program, how he's been trained, and how he doesn't really, like, he's tasting food or doesn't really have any emotions, doesn't feel anything, but now find the artifact that has like a slither of what how he could feel. Going off of other parts of it, but
I will say my one compliment to this show is that Halsey is great. Wasn't sure about her with the accent in the first episode, but yeah, no, that actress totally gets the character.
Yeah, she's excellent. I actually look forward to all of her stuff she does in episodes because she's very interesting. We see her more in this, I feel like, in the games. Yeah. So it's really cool that she's a front up sort of character. And the stuff with the Covenant going on, interesting. I wonder where this is going to go with them, especially where we learn more about who the woman is, the girl. I'm intrigued. I'm wondering where that's going to go.
Also a chosen one.
Yeah, so it's like kind of like a yin and yang sort of thing where Chief's on the one end and she's on the other. I don't know.
And then we get the gratuitous sexy strip scene.
Whoa.
That's what it is, man. That's what they're doing. They're trying to make you like the hot alien woman.
Yeah, I'm not. No, I'm good.
That's like every sci-fi show has that.
No, when you said, I was thinking of like her doing it in front of Chief. Sorry, John, not Chief.
Just
John.
to see if he reacts. Oh.
Yeah,
Chief would
She's just
too,
standing
man.
like,
He'd take that helmet right off.
Right. Well.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God, that's gross.
God, that's awful.
Yeah. No, that's what I just thought of when you said that. I thought you said, I was like, what the heck? Yeah, that was. I was like, why am I watching this?
What the hell is that?
If you show me that clip without context, it's like, oh yeah, this is Halo. I'm like, oh, okay, all right.
I would have thought it was Battlestar Galactica or some shit.
And Tyler still loves it, so.
Nope.
I don't know. There's not much else I can note about the episode, but we're getting a new one tomorrow morning. So I hope that the next one has more action. I've been enjoying that and just want to see more of what they could do with action scenes because they had a big one in the opening of the series. But I mean, just intrigued by the stories, and part of the story's politics of the world of Halo. All right, I'm more intrigued to figure out or learn about them. Like Chief just like went back to Reach, turned himself in, and now he's kind of like waiting like at a doctor's office, like, or is the baby okay? So not really, but just to figure out what the heck's going on.
It's more like he's waiting to find out if he's going to be tried and executed and hung and like on public national television.
Yeah. So,
well,
that's better fit.
Pretty.
But yeah. Halo. So Tyler, you're gonna give it one more try with episode 3 and see if you want to continue watching it or not.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to episode 3.
Okay. So. I'm gonna continue watching it the whole way through to give that chance.
Yeah, that's right. Listen, right. If you're on and I definitely haven't continued, but say like if Tyler hasn't, but you have, and you're on like I don't know week 7 or whatever, not 7, but like week 6, and we're talking about the Moon Knight final, and you're on episode 6 of Halo. If you still want to review it, then you still can, which is completely fine.
Well, it'll be episode 7 at that point, but I'm probably going to stick with it just because.
Oh yeah, it will be episode 7. Sorry, I was just thinking because Moon Knight's only got 6 episodes. So I was like,
yeah, and Halo's got 9. So
yeah. Well, we'll do your ratings now if you want, or you can do it at the end. What's up to you?
For Halo?
Yeah.
I'm going to give that like a 4 out of 10.
I think you gave it like last week, episode 1 like a 6, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
So
I don't know.
Down by 2.
I forgot what I gave the episode.
I think you gave it like an 8.
Yeah, I think I did give it an 8. I think I would give this one like a 6 or 7.
Yeah, bit average.
Like, yeah, it was fine.
Wasn't anything like amazing.
I'll be nice and give it a 7 today.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, if you enjoyed it, you enjoyed it. Like, don't feel like.
Oh, yeah. Look, I haven't watched this show and thought to myself, what the hell am I watching? I mean, maybe.
Yeah, you literally have. You said that earlier.
Well, I mean, I did. I was going to mention with the chick. That's the only part. I'm like, well, this is Halo now. But that's probably, aside from that, it's like, okay, I'm enjoying this. So, you know.
I'll give it a 5 just because I like Halsey so much.
Yeah, I mean the best thing for me is that they've already came out and said it's not canon, so it's like, all right, fair enough, do what you want. Like, if it was canon, I think a lot more fans would have more of a problem with it. In all honesty.
Oh my god, people be pissed.
Well, if it was canon, the entire canon would be broken right now.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so a 5 and a 7, which is completely fair. So moving on, we're going to be talking about Moon Knight now, episode 2. I'm sure we're all looking forward to this.
Such a great episode.
It
my
is.
gosh.
It's so good.
Right after last week, Steve Grant wakes up back in his apartment like nothing happened the night before, thinking that it's a dream, and nope. He goes to his job at the museum, the gift shop, and looks at the cameras and makes a little startling discovery that what the jackal that was chasing after the night before isn't shown in the cameras, and you just see him running around like a maniac.
Yeah.
And then him coming out of the bathroom, he notices he doesn't remember it, but also the stare that himself, the way he looks at the camera, he knows that's not him.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And it progresses from there of Steven trying to figure out this other part of his personality.
Like who is Mark and stuff, and then he goes to, which was a brilliant sequence, by the way, because like just to touch on like the whole not being able to see the jackal if you're not him. It's like I said it to you. I feel like it's a metaphor for his mental, illness that he has. Like,
well, that's something like out of the comic books where
only he can see his demons whilst no one else can. And I love that because,
well, metaphor maybe, but I'm pretty sure it's more just.
No, I know. Don't get me wrong. Like, I know what it is, but it has got like some sort of like something behind it, because they have said like in interviews the mental illness side of things is like,
also he's able to see them because Mark has essentially almost died before.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So they're able to see that.
But like the sequence where Stephen discovers the Mark stuff and they talk to each other, I really enjoyed that. He has loads of like different currencies and stuff in that. Like he finds a bag in a room, and it's full of different currencies and stuff. It's got like a pistol in there, passports,
his passport with Mark Spector name on it.
They have a little chat, and then they go out. Stephen goes out the room, and the tone just changes so fast. And with a scene that's later on in the episode, this segment I absolutely loved. It was creepy. Like, I love that, just the way they're like introducing like Khonshu into these episodes where like the lights are flickering and stuff, and you're like, where is he? Do you know what I mean? Like, he's coming, and then you get like a little glimpse of light flickering, and just like the speed of him getting closer and closer. I gotta say, Khonshu was definitely one of my favourite characters out the entire show. I know we're only 2 episodes in, but I absolutely love him. I think he's great. He's just, I don't know.
He's a little presence around
he's again, I said to you earlier, he's got a very unsettling appearance and stuff, but I don't know, there's just something about him that I absolutely love when he's on screen. After that,
well, hearing from him later on the episode too, like him actually directly talking to Mark, which we'll get to, that was just a very fun bit of, we get to learn about him, and also through Ethan Hawke's character Arthur. A lot of cool bits of learn.
So after that segment, he meets up with his wife. What was her name again?
Layla.
Yeah. So meet this character, and it was revealed that it's his wife. And I was like, when I was watching, I was like, wait, what? All right. So he's trying to like convince her that he genuinely is this person and not Mark, and she's kind of like not having it at first. But I feel like she kind of gets it, like the more he's at like the apartment just explaining stuff and whatnot. Do you know what I mean? The scarab is brought up again. We see that, and we find out what it does. It is different to what it is in the comics, is it not, Aiden?
Yeah, but it's also just it's a MacGuffin.
That's
It's
true.
a scarab. I mean, and that was also one of the things that was in the duffel bag that he found in the bunker, the part of the spot. So yeah, it's the MacGuffin for them leading to Amud's tomb.
Mm-hmm.
It's very reminiscent of like, I don't know, I think it just Egyptian culture, but also just like any kind of adventure thing where you have something that leads to the sacred place or location everyone's trying to race towards.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool. It levitates off when you like opening the wings spread out, and it's like a compass. It's essentially what they say.
Pretty cool.
It's friggin' Pathfinder from Rise of Skywalker. So I'm not. No, it's better than that.
Yeah.
No lie,
So after that, when they get to the apartment, they get visited by two police officers, but they turn out to be part of that cult and stuff. And then we get like, is it Ethan Hawke? Is that the actor's name?
Yeah.
We get his character's motivations and stuff, and Stephen kind of like understands it to a point, and then he starts mentioning like child murder and stuff, and he's like, I don't think so. That's the line where he draws. So it was quite interesting that we have a villain where your motives, like, you can understand his motives and like agree with them to a point, but as soon as he mentions something like that's completely wrong and out of line, you're like, I'm not into that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was interesting that he was Khonshu's like first prophet or avatar, whatever you want to call it. Is that in any source material, or is that just
No.
The character of Arthur Harrow is a nobody in the comics. He's in like a few panels of one page or whatever.
Well, isn't he like a German scientist or something in the comics?
Yeah, kind of, pretty much. I mean,
very
minor role. It's kind of one of those cases where they take a character and then mix up his story with some other.
I've watched a few videos and apparently that is the case. Like, he's just a mishmash of either different characters or because the character has so little in the comics that they've kind of just done their own thing with, which is fine. That kind of helps bend it to the story that they're making. And then, fanboys can't cry because it's not like the source material, because the character doesn't really have anything there. So, I quite like him as a villain. You understand him, like you say, and I'll stop rambling. I'll let you talk because I don't want to.
I mean, I've said a few parts, but I've enjoyed this one. I don't know if I like this one more than the first one. I think they're on par with each other. Maybe I had to think about it more, but
I definitely want to rewatch them. I mean, I've only seen them once, but like
I may wait for the whole series to come out, and I'll watch together and be like, it's kind of like a 6-hour Moon Knight movie, because I mean, these are all kind of like mini movies in a sense.
But I definitely like this episode more, just because we're getting more into the meat and the potatoes of the thing.
That's true.
We do also, you guys didn't mention, we get Mr. Knight in this episode.
I was moving on that, don't worry. Would you like to explain your theory that you told us and actually came true?
Yeah, well, I had a theory that I assumed that Jake Lockley was not going to be in this show, and then I assumed that Mark Spector was going to be Moon Knight as his alter ego, and Steven would end up becoming Mr. Knight as his alter ego, so that he can always be some sort of superhero, which happens in this episode, which I was very happy about.
I think I mean, Ian said it before you came on call and stuff. It is a different take on the character, like as in Mr. Knight and stuff. I enjoyed him. I definitely hope that Steven starts believing in himself more when he's Mr. Knight, if that makes sense. Like, he just... Because he knows fine well now that he can lay the shit out of anything, do you know what I mean? Because he has, like, the enhanced strength as Mr. Knight and so on and whatnot.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely going to, over time, like, Mark's probably train Steven to be a better fighter. Like, I like that one moment where he has, like, nice punch, you know? And he's like, all right, you did your job, I'll take over.
Yeah, and that was a great segment. I know I'm just going over, like, this Jackal fight. I mean, it wasn't there for a lot of it. Like, you could just see Mr. Knight getting thrown all over.
Yeah, well, because it's from, like, Layla's perspective.
Yeah.
Going on.
And stuff. I mean, there was one semi-cringy moment for me in this episode, and I mentioned it before. I mean, to use, it's probably not like, you know, when you heard it, you probably brushed it off. But for me, because I hear, like, a lot of southern slang and stuff, like, over here in the UK, when I heard Wagwan, I was like, that's out of context, and, like, you know, it's not a massive issue. I just thought, whatever, like, I didn't really need it there. It just kind of killed that great scene for me. Then it came back when Moon Knight got involved, and stuff. That transition from Mr. Knight to Moon Knight was superb. Like, just the suit coming on and the hood going up and the cape and everything, and just, yeah, it just looked so good. Like, and the music, we're going to talk about the music. I love the theme that Moon Knight has. Like, when the suit's on, the very grand, like, I wouldn't say it's not really Egyptian, is it? It's a very grand score, like.
Yeah, and I don't know if say it's Egyptian, but it's got a kind of grandiose kind of.
Yeah. And especially
in the vein, it's also kind of like ancient, where it's like something rising, and it's like it's very cool. It has its own like tone and feel towards it.
Yeah, I love that.
That was going in the moon. I was like, well, how's the show gonna like? How's the theme gonna sound? Is it gonna be kind of like very, you know?
I really like the music that we've had so far for the show.
Yeah, it's been great. I think it lines up with a lot of action scenes. I know it's something that a lot of people won't mention, but I feel like, for part of telling a story, music is very important. There's a lot.
Oh, yeah, massively. I feel like, well, you've just said it there. You've hit the nail on the head. Like, music is a storytelling aspect, and if you get it spot on, it helps, like, whatever you're making massively. I mean, it works great for stuff like Guardians or whatever, or, do you know what I mean?
Moon Knight's in its own case for this show because you know it's very different. Like, I love the Loki soundtrack. That one's so good.
Yeah, I love the Loki soundtrack as well.
That one fits so well for the show. It's kind of like it's going a different thing, but that's the other soundtrack I just recall being so memorable to me.
Yeah.
So, but we
got a great scene with Moon Knight. It's like, I can't wait for them just to go, here you go, this is just flat out Moon Knight, there you go, he's just going to be in the suit, like, for a full episode or something.
Yeah, he's basically running the whole time, but I was like, this is still cool, you know? Running from the moon a couple of times, or going off like he's doing parkour. Moon Knight's doing parkour.
Yeah.
He is. His Jackal's running after him. And how he kills it is just brutal and really cool. Just freaking, you know, just... Yeah,
I love that when it starts to, like, disintegrate, and then just the...
Yeah, to sand.
His blade comes back to him. Like, I love that. It just falls into his hand. I love that.
It's too. It's moon rings. I guess you want to call it, or moon rings. I don't know. They call them moon rings sometimes. But he takes them out of his chest, and it doesn't leave. It's kind of like that weird, like, supernatural power where he'll take, like, multiple of them, and it won't change his symbol.
Yeah.
So I like that. Perhaps too, but yeah, I mean, the costume is just incredible. It's a freaking
so good, isn't it?
So cool. It's a great way of doing it, and straying away from, like, kind of like is just a whole full white costume, or we trying to make it around it. Just think it works better for the character. I mean,
You know what? You know what the Moonerang thing made me think of? Like in the Halo games, when you pull a grenade off of your like hip, and then you have two grenades, so it just stays there. So you're just pulling a grenade out of a grenade. That's what it made me think of.
yes, yeah. That's a good. I also want to comment on Mr. Knight's, like, Stephen Graham being Mr. Knight. Tyler was right about that. It makes the most sense, and I think it's cool because having Stephen have his own look for being Moon Knight when he's in control and he needs to summon a suit, but he won't let Mark come through, or they're having trouble letting Mark come through while him having it. That was so cool. Yeah, it does take away from how Mr. Knight's portrayed in the comics as this very, like, just cool dude. All right, we'll just say that. He's really sly. He's really, like, kicks ass, does a lot of, like, just crime work on the streets. But this guy's a little different. I think him as Steven, just imagining himself summoning the suit in a more dapper look, I think it's funny, and I think it works well, and I think over time maybe we will see him like the badass he is in the comic books. But I love the look of it. They got the look down easily and completely, and it looks great. Love how they did the mask and kind of like it's stitched in the middle. That kind of makes me think of, like, there's a small detail in the costume department of, like, having Moon Knight being two split personalities.
Yeah, I love that little touch. It's probably not the intention, but I like that.
I just like to think that it's probably somewhere in there. So I think that's cool. Really like seeing the episode. Really like him getting thrown around wearing it. I love the superhero landing because it just feels like a little nod to Deadpool in a way where it makes fun of, like, and then he just falls on his side when you.
Another Deadpool-esque thing is that Steven's mask emotes.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
His eyes move.
Yeah, and I love the white eyes. I'm glad they glow. Just like the Moon Knight costumes, I feel like that's, you just have, it's not like a normal, it sticks out in the dark too when you're mostly going to have this character at nighttime or something like that. But so it's kind of in the eyes of his enemies. But the episode's great. I'm trying to, like, the ending. We actually finally get to see Mark actually be Mark. Like, he takes over and he has this conversation with Khonshu, which is kind of
was a very that conversation really tells you the situation Mark's in, because Khonshu, like, just has him where he wants him, and, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
Khonshu's he's a dick.
He is.
Wait, Arthur was warning him about him earlier in the episode, and and that's very much of, like, how Khonshu's like in the comics too.
Yeah, where he just uses Mark and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, look, Mark is just being used for Khonshu's needs. He's the fist of Khonshu. It's fist of justice and vengeance, but to what extent? And also that it seems like it's never Mark's refusing to give up now, or he's going to continue doing work for Khonshu until, because Layla's now being brought into the loop of all this. So it's very. I thought about this earlier too. It's different. If you take everything away about Moon Knight here, of him being a Marvel character and somewhat of a superhero, it's kind of like this could easily be like a Universal Monsters kind of like tragic story where this guy's cursed and he has to follow, like, this ancient, mummy god or moon god, and in order to protect his loved one. It seems like he's just forced to be like this and fight things. But
yeah, I'm fairly certain they're going to work out a new deal by the end of the show.
It would be cool because, I mean, Moon Knight kind of goes off his own sometimes. Like, he can be Moon Knight without Khonshu, which they have done. So, I mean, if they do, that'd be really cool. I want Khonshu to stick around. He's great when he sticks around. He's just watching.
Yeah, I like him. He's got a lot of personality, a lot of charisma.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't know. That's just something I thought. I was like, man, it's so interesting. It's so unique. I'm glad they all started just sticking to Steven and Mark, of them just figuring each other out. And, it's just been great for seeing Steven unfold everything that's been happening to him and understanding that he's sharing a body with another personality.
I mean, Moon Knight's a very complicated character in the comics, and if they had Moon Knight, Mr. Knight, Steven, Mark...
A lot to bear.
what's his name?
It could be a bit too much for like.
Yeah, and
They've simplified the complicated character. He's still complicated, but
He's simplified to the point where it's enough.
Later on,
form.
they could do a more like they could add Jake Lockley if they had the opportunity to, but in what extent I don't know. I like to say that Stephen.
I think if they brought Jake in, he would be temporary because he wouldn't have an alter ego.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
true.
Lockley's just eyes on the street of New York, or basically like what's going on, like crime-wise, or the park. So I like to think he's just like knowing a lot of information intel. So that's where I like to think that Stephen Grant kind of has that part of Jake Lockley, like knowing about of like Egyptian lore and hieroglyphics. So Stephen Grant was just like a billionaire, similar to like Bruce Wayne in the comics, and that's why a lot of people back then draw the comparison of Moon Knight.
Even though they're completely different characters.
Yeah, well, they made it now, but back then when Moon Knight was originally created, you can definitely argue that it's
I get you. I find it kind of... I know we're only 2 episodes into the show, but like Moon Knight kind of feels like it's its own thing, as in like it's detached from the rest of the MCU. I don't know if you've noticed that. Like, I know, like I say, we're only 2 episodes in, but there hasn't been like anything... like
no, there have been Easter eggs and stuff like that, but it is its own story, and they've said that from the beginning.
Yeah, look, there's part of this episode when Steven's in the car and they're in London. You see the Tower Bridge, and I was like, oh my god, the last time we saw that in a Marvel movie was Far From Home. So that was cool to see, but it's like all put back together because the series takes place after Hawkeye, if I'm not mistaken. So look, I personally. I'm enjoying that we don't really have a bunch of references to...
Yeah, same. It's quite nice, isn't it?
It doesn't distract anything else from the story. I feel like that works. It works for other series when it mentions it, but like, I feel like it just... You're so focused on what you're doing right here, right now. I like that. I mean, unless it's like, you need to mention something that happened, but they haven't mentioned about the snap or the blip, So... That's fine. You don't need to. I just want to like enjoy what we're learning.
Like his story and stuff, and like everything going on with his world. Yeah, I really like that. Like, don't get me wrong. I think we all like when there's references or there's nods to like other MCU things in other shows or whatever. But it is nice that we've got something where it can stand on its own, and like it doesn't reference anything. Like it might do, like. In other episodes at some point, who knows? Like, but yeah, I'm really enjoying that aspect of it.
Well, I'll say like how WandaVision and other shows talk about the blip, like the greater world. That did need, and I feel, and it does a good job in doing it that way. Where it is more connected with the MCU and what's going on, because you're focusing on characters that went through those events. And
I think it also helps that it is set in like the UK rather than the States as well. Like, if
But I mean, the writers literally said that they decided to outside of like New York and the States because there's just too many characters.
Yeah, which is true. Yeah,
I mean that's how busy it was in the comics, even busier in the comic books. Honestly, so many. So yeah, I like it. I think it makes more sense. It works for Moon Knight, and I'm looking forward to watching the rest. I don't know what to expect next week, aside from like I guess the search for the tomb, and I guess Steven and Marg building more upon their relationship, and possibly maybe Steven training more for his Mr. Knight persona.
I think we'll be getting a lot of Mark backstory.
Yes, yeah,
I'm fine with that. I mean.
It wasn't a complaint. I just think like
no.
They have to postpone for the climax for 4 more episodes, so we're gonna get backstory.
Well, and I could tell you too, this series has been pacing very well.
It's very well paced.
Yeah, very well paced of how everything's unfolding and being done. I've just been loving that.
It doesn't feel like anything's getting rushed or dragged, like with the episode lengths and stuff.
No,
like, it genuinely feels like it does everything it needs to within that, like, say, 55-minute gap that it has, and like.
Or I'm not waiting for something to happen because I'm getting bored.
It does make you left wanting more, but that's because it's a good show. Like good shows do that. So
good shows should do that.
Yeah, which is true. And like, I don't think I've really watched or like rewatched many of the Disney Plus shows, like Marvel related. I mean, The Mandalorian I have, but I haven't really rewatched anything. But like with this, like I do want to just go back and watch episode 1 and 2 again and just, sit through it again and I just need episode 3 now.
I mean, Falcon and the Winter Soldier and WandaVision I've watched like 4 or 5 times each. So.
Yeah. I definitely should, because like I would like to watch them in their entirety and stuff. Like I think Loki's the only one that I did that with. But WandaVision I didn't. Falcon and Winter Soldier I didn't. What If I definitely didn't. Hawkeye again.
I've rewatched episodes of What If, like specifically the zombie episodes.
But you haven't watched flat out.
I haven't gone through and watched.
Yeah, I don't blame you. What If's very mixed.
I don't have any problems with it. I don't need to sit through the whole thing again.
Your favourite episode's the Killmonger one, isn't it?
It is.
What? No, I hate that fucking fuckhead.
It's your favourite episode?
No. My favorite episode is probably the episode where Ultron beats the crap out of the Watcher.
That one is awesome. It's excellent.
I know we're just completely going off, but...
Yeah, no.
Anyway, I mean, that's essentially we've wrapped the discussion with. It's a great episode. I guess we could rank it or rate it.
What, episode 2, Moon Knight?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
another 9. I'll give it a 9.
No, we're gonna
sit and rank What If.
What If?
No.
I would say I think I gave the last episode a 9.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give this one a 9 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a 9.5.
I think my last rating was a 9.5. I can't give it a 10. I've kind of shot myself in the foot now, haven't I? I'll say a 9.
Give it another
9.6.
Okay, get out of here. It's either 5 or just a whole
Listen,
number.
it's my rating. I'll do as I like.
That's cheap. This man's cheap.
I'll give it a 9.
Which is I think no. I can't give it like.
So my question, Aiden, I'm pretty sure you gave the last episode a 10. So what brought this one down a point?
No, I didn't. I give it a 9.5.
No, I'm talking to Aiden, not you.
Oh.
Man, I guess I don't know. I feel like I would say a 10 again, but
Put him on the spot now.
Out of excitement, I know I'm trying to like think of an answer behind this. I don't know. Yeah. A lot of the first episode I enjoyed because it was so much of like not a lot of action happening, but also this mystery of everything going on. Yeah. I a lot of that I immensely enjoyed. But honestly, outside of like giving a rating, I enjoy each episode on par. But even though from each other,
yeah.
But I enjoyed the same. I feel like I enjoyed it less or I enjoyed it more.
I think it's just the initial hype that you get. Like,
oh yeah, I mean I've been waiting for like 3 years, 2 years, 3 years essentially for the series to come out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I my expectations were met with surprising results. Really surprised. So this is just me continuing. Like I'm probably going to say 9 for. I hope I can say 9 for the rest of the series.
Hopefully it doesn't drop off. I don't think it will, in all honesty.
I hope not.
But I think what we should definitely do when it comes to the final, like when we've watched it and whatnot, we could either rewatch it again, do like a rewatch, and then like say rank the episodes. You know what I mean? And like see if anything's changed, and as we see it as like a full story rather than episode 2 or whatever, because that might change. And then we can rank where we'd put it in our list of like the TV shows. I think that would be quite good to do. But overall great episode. Hopefully it can keep it up. I think it will. I haven't got any doubts. That's Moon Knight episode 2. So you two have bought some new figures. have you not? Tyler, you just got one today, didn't you? A Halo figure.
I did, yes. The Spartan Collection June.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't sound good.
It's a fine figure. It's essentially what I expect.
Is it not like... Yeah, I was going to say, is it not what you're like hoping for?
Well, I would say it's not as good as the initial Halo Reach figures, like the White Spartan and Emil.
Mm-hmm.
It does the knee joints better than Infinite Master Chief, but I still don't like those knees at all.
Yeah.
And the unmasked head is unbelievably bad. Like, it is a joke. It is so much... I don't know how, but they managed to make it so much worse than Cat's unhelmeted head. It's abysmal.
God, you'll have to send me pictures of like how bad it is next to Cat's. I haven't seen this.
I thought the head couldn't go on at all. It took a lot of force, but I was able to get the head on to sit right, and it's just very tight right now. So,
all right. Did you not heat it up or anything? Or
no, I just used my man strength.
Get on there, you bastard!
Yeah, basically. His sniper's not great. The stand's very
Why is that
flimsy. It's like this. The bipod is very flimsy rubber.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and he can't hold it all that well. But otherwise, he needs a fine figure.
Yeah, I get what
definitely a downgrade from the other Halo Reach figures. But
have they only brought the 2 out then from Reach or what?
They've done 3 versions. No, 4 versions.
They've brought out Noble 6 as well, haven't they?
Yeah, they did 3 versions of the multiplayer Spartan plus Noble 6. They've done Emil, they've done Cat, they've done June, and they're working on Carter and George.
Did you ever pick up Noble 6 or not?
No, not yet. I haven't been able to find him.
I wouldn't mind Noble 6.
Yeah, I'd like to get him. I don't like that his helmet is a different color than his torso, but
is it?
I'll just have to paint it. Yeah, it's like a brighter gray color compared to his darker gray torso.
Weird.
Yeah, it's a weird plastic difference. But yeah.
Aiden, what is it you bought?
So the other day, I happened to come across the NECA mummy figure from the Boris Karloff 1932 film, I believe. I'm a big fan of the Universal Monster films, and since NECA's been making these characters in figure form, I've been looking to collect each and every one of them. And the mummy is up there for one of my favorites, and they did this one, and I must say, I think it's one of my favorite NECA figures, period. The detail is out of this world. The head sculpts are some of the best I've seen NECA do. It is just insane how they capture Boris Karloff's face from just, basically one scene of the film, very brief, but they just do it so well. I'm just looking at it now. The makeup of like how that was done, I'm so blown away, and I love it so much. The accessories are great. You get some part wrapping, so you can wrap around his feet or around his back of his neck. You get 2 alternate hands for his right hand, not for his left, unfortunately. I don't understand why, but it's all right. It's not like I'm gonna do much, but the other one's kind of like a hanging around like open palm hand. And the other one has like his scarab ring. But yeah, it's so well done. I'm very happy that I found it. I forgot that they were making a black and white version because I want to get those instead of the normal color ones. Because I have the Frankenstein figure in black and white, but not the mummy, unfortunately, because that doesn't come out till June. But I just prefer to have them that way because that's how I've always seen them and how they're portrayed in the films. The color ones are all right, but like the Wolfman, I think that one's not great with its colors.
Yeah, I've seen images of that. It doesn't look the best.
No, and the Frankenstein's monster is okay. I think it's fine, but he's more like a yellow, not like a puke green. I don't know. It's not like fitting for me, so I think getting the black and white version is the way to go. So I may just sell this mummy figure I have currently and then get the black and white one. But for now, I'm very happy to have him.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I don't know about you, Tyler. Have you like had any NECA figures recently or anything?
Alex likes NECA. Really?
I've gotten McFarlane figures recently.
So no, then
Close.
no,
But not
NECA's
NECA.
leaps and bounds above McFarlane.
They're both 7-inch scale and deal with similarly random IPs. Come on now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I mean, in terms of quality and stuff, NECA's
Yeah,
like,
quality's NECA's far superior in that
Yeah.
regard.
I feel like, I mean, NECA have
Certainly in design quality.
yeah.
Yes, I mean,
don't
you
get me
have,
wrong,
like,
NECA's
the
got
proportions.
issues.
Oh yeah. No, they have durability quality issues.
Yeah.
But not design quality.
It's
No,
slowly
no.
got better with a lot of it. So
But their newer stuff, like I don't really collect NECA stuff now. I mean, the last NECA thing I bought was that big, like I don't know what scale it is. I think it's 12 inch or something, like Assassin Predator or something. I think it's the same size as like, or bigger than Surtur from the Marvel Legends line. That was the last NECA thing I bought, and I absolutely love it. The sculpt and everything's gorgeous on it, but like a lot of their, like, they've massively improved on what they were doing before and stuff. And like, I mean, when Aiden was sending pictures of the Mummy and stuff, I was like, that looks great. Like, I do like, you know, the original Universal monsters and stuff. Like, I love their designs and whatnot. It's very iconic within the horror scene and stuff. But like, I wouldn't mind picking one up or something. Personally,
I would recommend the Jada Toys ones if you care about them being 6-inch scale.
yeah.
I'm on that line all the way, and I love the Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
the Creature of Black Lagoon figure, I have that. It's great, but
I definitely want that figure. I really want that figure.
I prefer the NECA figures in terms of detail.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
They are way more detailed,
Mhm.
I think, and just go all the way. The scale wise doesn't really bother me all that
Mhm.
much. Surprisingly, I'd be more of a stickler about it, but because I mostly like Marvel Legends, they're kind of like that's their own spot. Universal Monsters is going to be kind of their own spot on my shelf already.
Yeah, no, I mix and mingle, so.
Yeah,
I got
I'm not that bothered about scale. I mean, if like, it's nice, I guess, but like, if it's like, for example, with my top 3 shelves, they're all like all over the place with scales and stuff. Like, you know, so it doesn't really bother me. But it looks like an exceptional figure or collectible, whatever. The only issue I guess I have with NECA now is the prices. Their prices have really went up, so I probably would look elsewhere for if I was to get like
I paid $34 for my mummy figure.
which is fine. I think that I used to pay, about $35 for my Predator figures when I was buying like 20 within the year, something stupid.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I'd pick one up. Who knows? Maybe for my birthday or something. I might just treat myself to a random NECA figure and just there you go. I don't know why I bought that. And it'd be one of them weird ass buys.
Yeah, I've been scrolling through my pictures, trying to figure out what the last NECA figure I bought was, and I think it was the Xenomorph back in like 2020.
I didn't know you bought a Xenomorph.
I bought it for our friend Braden,
Mhm.
but then he ended up getting one from his mother, so I didn't. So I kept it and then sold it.
Oh, right, okay. You should have kept
but
it.
I've had the Nathan Drake, and I've had no.
Why?
I needed money. I needed money more than a figure I don't care about.
Hey, that's shocking, that.
Yeah, and then I had the NECA Kratos, and I sold him as well.
Mhm.
So. But yeah, I mean, I've liked the ones that I've had. Besides,
I do like
Creed ones,
NECA
'cause they
products
broke.
and stuff. I've just like their build quality can be so hit and miss. Like you could get a new figure and you could just be careful with it, bending a knee or moving the leg, and next thing you know, the bastard snapped.
Yeah.
Like, it's so frustrating because they look that good, you want to mess with them, but you're kind of a bit scared too because you know the quality and you know NECA is infamous for that sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. Personally, I've been quite lucky with NECA. I think I've only had like 1 or 2 breaks at like opening something up, but like obviously over time, the more I've messed about with some things, yeah, fair enough. The plastic's just brittle and shattered, which is a shame because obviously you don't want to buy something for it then to like break over time. But it would always be the hips, always the hips. So
NECA's alright. That's NECA's hips to this day are horribly designed.
Yeah,
it's such an awful design scheme.
See, that was one of my biggest worries when I was getting that Assassin Predator, because I wanted it for ages, but like I wasn't sure how the legs would work with it being like such a top heavy character and such like little feet. But they've got ratchets in its like upper thighs, sorry. So like it's the best that I've seen from NECA. Like the joints aren't loose. I don't have the fear of it's going to snap. It's a really solid figure, which I'm quite happy because I paid a ridiculous amount that I'm a bit embarrassed to say for a figure. I think I paid about 70 for it.
Yeah, I think if we could take like the best things from McFarlane and Diamond Select and NECA and just merge them all into one toy line, you'd have like a perfect toy line.
Yeah, definitely.
Like the durability of McFarlane, like the design or the aesthetic quality of NECA, and then like the brands of Diamond Select, I guess, because Diamond Select is just not very good, but. Yeah. Oh well.
Well. That is it. Yeah. Anything else to add before we head off?
Nope. No. That's all.
Well, no funny stories about milk.
Not today.
Maybe next time.
I know. Yeah. More milk. Yeah. So that's been this episode. I don't know how long it's been. It might be a short one. Who knows? At this point, I'm just going with it. But. Thanks for listening. Do you want to say anything before we head off?
Moon Knight.
Just Moon Knight.
Shite.
Whoa, controversial. Yeah, thank you for listening. Please remember to check out the social media for the All Things Geek podcast over on Instagram, where we post updates and stuff like that. Don't forget to rate the podcast on Spotify. It'll massively help us in the long run. And obviously share the episode. Thank you, Aidan, for joining us once again.
Thank you for having me.
It's always a blast when you're on, mate. When we talk.
If you've listened this far into the podcast, find Braden Renzolian on YouTube and comment on his latest video that he's a warm milk drinker.
Yeah, please do. It would be so funny. He's just put out a Peacemaker video, so if you're curious to what channel it is, just look for the Peacemaker review. Just write warm milk under it. Yeah, just write warm milk under it, and that's it. You're gonna hate us for that. Yeah.
If it happens.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Thank you for listening, and yeah, bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.